Mark became the Viltrumite Emperor following the death of his father and had a big ceremony with all the Viltrumites kneeling before him. Debbie, however, intentionally missed the ceremony as she stood in front of Nolan's grave, telling Mark that the Viltrumite chapter of her life is over. Alan then finally got ready to leave, but Mark made sure to basically tell him that they'll never be the good friends they once were after he set up Oliver to be killed to ultimately get Mark's help against Thrag. Mark was unsure what to do from there because Earth was so peaceful that even the Mauler twins were actually helping against crime. So later, when his son from Anissa, Marky, suddenly discovered his powers and caused a lot of destruction, Mark decided that Viltrumites don't belong on Earth anymore, as he then assigns Immortal to take Rex's place and essentially rule Earth from behind the scenes, before he ordered all the Viltrumites and their families to pack their things and leave except for Anissa's husband, aka Marky's stepdad, who wanted to stay on Earth with Marky. Mark agreed to leave Marky behind, realizing that he could benefit from growing up human, but he nevertheless sat him down and told him Viltrum's entire story. It was then time to leave as Mark said his goodbyes to Debbie, who would go on to take care of Marky till he eventually became his own man, while Mark was set on the ultimate mission to expand the Empire and help all the planets in the universe, as we see his daughter Tara growing up helping the Empire spread peace over the universe, as she eventually became a part of the program that sent out people to make sure that the planets the Viltrumites had helped are still thriving. Mark doubles down, explaining that he purposely shaves his mustache to represent Viltrum's new way of peace. At one point, however, things got so peaceful that Alan and his coalition had no longer work to do, which caused a war between them and Viltrum until Alan realized that the coalition truly didn't need to exist any longer. Tara and Thrag's daughter grew up to become really good friends, but then Eve's time seemingly came only for her to revive herself and realize that she's immortal. Mark continued making peace all around while refusing to do things with force, so when his enemies found out how much power he exactly had and yet didn't abuse any of it, they were absolutely stunned, but he just explained it to be the Viltrum way. At one point, his son Marky would fight him, thinking that he hated him because he left him behind, but it was just a big misunderstanding that they had all the time in the world to resolve. However, at the end of this all, Mark couldn't help but grin, thinking back to his father asking him what he will have after 500 years.